Y'all already know who it is. Osiris Lourde, Lord Under the Scope. And I got another banger. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking about this because, everybody has their style of helping people out. So I came across the topic of enabling and empowering. So definitely stay here right now. Don't go nowhere. I don't have no intro or nothing, but, I'm just getting right into the topic. So anyway, when we think of enabling and empowerment, what comes to mind? To me personally, enabling is like if you have like a homie or something that's like never has bread, never has any money, but they always trying to like buy something or like smoke something that's unnecessary, and you just keep giving them bread, and they never like actually like try to go and get a job. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, Osiris is always going to give me money. That's enabling. You know what I'm saying? Now, empowering somebody would be me being like, oh, you trying to smoke? I'm going to spot you this bread this time, but you're going to get a job. And you'll just straight up tell them like, I'm never giving you money again. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. Something always beeps in my thing. So anyway, enabling versus empowering is a very not necessarily touchy topic, because it is enabling versus empowerment. One is bad and one is good, but depends on who you are. So anyway, I'm going to read you guys what enabling actually is. Enable refers to the positive act of helping someone accomplish something that could not be done alone, but enabling also refers to the act of helping someone in such a way that rather than solving a problem, it is in fact being perpetuated. So basically, there's levels of you guys are learning with me. There's levels of being an enabler. Anyway, so enabling somebody is basically like if you have a fiend, you know what I'm saying, and you just always giving them money and they never want to actually get better. They just want to keep asking you for money. Where empowering them is being like, nah, it's over for that. We're about to go get you a job. I'm about to provide you with everything you need so you can afford your own habit type of thing. So anyhow, I'm going to go into some stuff really quickly that I see. Oh, okay. Boom. Here we go. So we got Healthline.com says the term enabler generally describes someone whose behavior allows a loved one to continue self-destructive patterns of behavior. This term can be stigmatizing since there is often negative judgment attached to it. However, many people who enable others don't do so intentionally. They may not even realize what they're doing. So basically, if somebody's, like I said, if somebody's always bailing you out and they're like, oh, no, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's an enabler. Now, there's not necessarily anything wrong with being an enabler, in my opinion, as long as you know what you're doing and it doesn't affect that person's growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to let someone touch the stove sometimes so they know not to touch the stove. You know what I'm saying? And like, if allowing somebody like grandmas are usually enablers. You know what I'm saying? Grandmas are usually the biggest enablers. They're always like, oh no, don't let blah blah blah. I don't know why that's my granny voice, because my granny don't sound nothing like that. My granny be like, oh no, I make it for him. Him just a child, like just kind of like, bruh, I'm 30. Let me make my food. I don't even like it like that no more. You know what I'm saying? I love you, granny. But yeah, empowering someone doesn't mean solving or covering up problems. Rather, when you empower someone, you do one or more of the following to help them succeed or change on their own. Give them tools, like I said, help them access resources, and teach them skills. So basically, like I said, if instead of giving somebody money all the time, you're going to teach them how to make money. You're going to potentially offer them a job. You're going to say, you know what, I can't give you money, but if I need help with this, you know what I'm saying, you can barter. And that's how I usually do it. If somebody is asking me for money, I just usually I'd be like, I can't give you no money, but I could do this for you. Like I offer a resource or a skill so that they can make money. If my friend asked me for $20, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give them $20, or depending on who, if it's $100, I'll give them $100, $500, whatever the case is. Don't ask me for no money because I'm gonna say no. But I'm just letting you know, depending on the type of person you are or who you are, I'll give you money. You know, I don't necessarily feel like I'm enabling somebody if they're my friend and I know they like really need the money. Even if it's for something like, bro, I'm short on money. Can you loan me money so I can go cop bud until the weekend or whatever? You know what I'm saying? This is a different conversation, but bud is a medicine to me anyway. So if somebody who's usually taking their medicine every day or all week, I know that if they don't have their medicine for a couple days or a week, it's going to be pretty bad, especially if they're working or if they have a job or something like that. Anyway, I'm going off topic. So enabling often describes situations involving addiction or substance misuse, but this isn't always the case. Enabling can describe any situation where you help by attempting to hide problems or make them go away. This help is ultimately not helpful, as it usually doesn't make a problem entirely go away. It often makes it worse, since an enabled person has less motivation to make changes if they keep getting help that reduces their need to make change. Boom. That's exactly what an enabler is. Basically, I'm going to coddle you and make you feel like everything's okay, to the point where when it's time for you to go do your own thing, you're clueless and you're like, wow, I have no idea how to do any of this thing. My feelings are hurt, or like, you know, like things like that you can't understand or process. It's like when people become adults and they move out their house and they don't know how to cook. You know, like things like that. I mean, that is, I guess the word would be subjective to like how you grew up, because some people just are blessed that they don't have to cook and stuff like that. I mean, I still feel like that's enabling, but you know, like sometimes people don't have to cook till they grow up. You know, it be like that. You watch it in the movies, you know what I'm saying? You got your pharaohs and all that stuff. They leave the crib. They don't even be what to do and all that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm going to read off a couple of signs or characteristics of an enabler. Ignoring or tolerating problematic behavior. An example they have of this is, say your partner struggles with alcohol misuse. They say they haven't been drinking, but you find a receipt in the bathroom trash for a liquor store one night. The next night, you find a receipt for a bar in your neighborhood. Instead of asking them about the receipts, you decide not to press the issue. Total enabling. Providing financial assistance. That's usually the biggest enabler, in my opinion. It usually has to do with either drugs or it has to do with money. Example of this behavior. Your adult child struggles to manage their money and never has enough to pay their rent. Helping them out each month won't teach them how to manage their money. Instead, they may become dependent on you. Now, I feel like this definitely is a perfect example, but if you're listening, I don't want you to think that if you give them money a couple of times when they're trying to get on their feet that you're enabling them. You're not really enabling them. There's a difference between enabling and like starting, like I said. Covering for them or making excuses. I'm not going to read all the examples, but this is a good example for covering for them and making excuses. You might call your partner's work to say they're sick when they're hungover or blackout drunk, or you may call your child's school with an excuse when they haven't completed a term project or studied for an important exam. Your actions may seem to help in the moment. They keep your partner from facing a reprimand or even losing their job and source of income. They prevent your child from experiencing academic consequences that could affect their future. But your actions can give your loved one the message that there's nothing wrong with their behavior, that you'll keep covering for them. Yeah. I know a lot of parents that did that. I know a lot of people whose lover, or even just, again, their parents, were just calling their jobs, calling school, or enabling, definitely with parents, with basically doing children's homework for them their entire like growing up, you know, like elementary life and shit. So That never happened with me. I don't think that happened with me. I did my homework. I'm just saying I know plenty of people that do their kids' homework for like their whole life. And that's just like that's just a thing that parents do. You know what I'm saying? It's not one specific anyway. Avoiding the issue, brushing things off, denying the problem, sacrificing or struggling to recognize your own needs, missing out on things you want or need for yourself because you're so involved with taking care of a loved one can also be a sign you're enabling that person. Do you struggle financially after giving your loved one money? Do you lack time for your work, self-care, or other relationships since you're doing more at home? Sometimes we want to make sacrifices for the people we care about. This doesn't always mean you're enabling someone. The reason you're letting your needs go unmet matters. It's certainly important to take care of yourself first, especially when taking care of a sick loved one, but you may not mind missing out on some of your typical activities for several days or a few weeks. But if you're consistently struggling to get things done or feel worn down by your attempts to take care of a loved one, it may help to consider your reasons for helping and the effect they're having on your loved one. Does your sacrifice allow their behavior to continue? So basically, you struggling to meet this other person's needs. They probably don't even care, to be honest, but that's a whole different topic. Because if somebody is watching you just struggle and they're just sitting back, then you need to think about your position and your role in this person's life. Next one is not following through on consequences, not maintaining your stated boundaries. I'll read that one. Healthy boundaries are important. Again, this is from healthline.com. Healthy boundaries are important in any relationship. Some boundaries you might express to a loved one experiencing addiction, abuse, or another concern might include, these are examples. I don't want to be around when you're shouting, so I'll only listen when you talk calmly. I don't feel comfortable having sex if you've been drinking. I don't want to hang out when you've been doing drugs, so please don't come over when you're high. If you or your loved one crosses a boundary you've expressed and there are no consequences, they might keep crossing that boundary. Basically, if you don't talk up for yourself, this person just gonna keep running your life. Next one is feeling resentment. When a pattern of enabling characterizes a relationship, it's fairly common for resentment or feelings of anger and disappointment to develop. Your resentment may be directed more toward your loved one, toward the situation, both or even yourself. You might feel hurt and angry about spending so much time trying to help someone who doesn't seem to appreciate you. You may feel obligated to continue helping even when you don't want to. Resentment can damage your emotional well-being, but it can also help you realize the situation may not be healthy. Yeah. You need to just bring attention to the issue, encourage them to get help. That's empowering them. Set your boundaries, and remember, it's okay to say no. You know, that's another thing about being an enabler. I won't go deep into the topic as far as the mindset of an enabler. But typically, enablers just don't know how to say no, which is pretty unfortunate, honestly. But yeah, so those are mainly how enabling is. Empowerment is a really strong thing, and it takes a really strong person to empower someone who needs to be empowered instead of enabling them, because it takes a lot of discipline and mental strength, in my opinion, because you can, especially if you're in a position to help. Because if you're in a position to help, you might just be like, here's the money, or here's whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, you know what, I'm going to go with, here's a list of places you can go to try to find a job. Here's a list of things to earn extra income, or just kind of like whatever resources and tools in general to provide for them. I'm sorry, guys. My camera's acting a little wonky, so that's why I'm kind of speaking a little weird. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so basically empowering somebody, I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about telling people no. I'm all about telling people you can do it. I'm all about telling people straight up what they need. Not necessarily what they need, because I don't necessarily know what they need, but if I can assess the situation and help as much as I can, I will do that. So it's very important for you to have people around you who empower you and make you feel tip top and let you know, that you can do whatever you need to do, provide you with what you need to get. And that's pretty much it. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I really thought that I was going to talk longer on this topic, but just enabling somebody versus empowerment, I'm not going to keep this going too long. So enabling somebody is basically just like giving into them and just meeting their needs whenever their needs need to be met, and they don't go about fixing or solving the issue that they need your help with so consistently. Where empowering somebody is providing them with the tools that they need, providing them with resources, providing them with just all the type of help that they need to succeed. So yeah, that is another banger today, just kind of on mental health and just friends, relationships, that type of thing. Consistent theme you can see that I have here. I will definitely be getting into some more fun stuff, some more outgoing and expressive stuff versus what I'm talking about now. But this is season 00. I'm just kind of laying the backbone. Anyway, Lord under the scope. The Lord loves you. This is episode 4. This was about empowerment versus enabling. And hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.